This is it. Hang on. Let's make the representing Ken Jackson at Jackson Fence Company. Thanks guys for bringing me out last week and having me help you at the gate operators. And without further ado, let's get into an update because it's been a little while since we talked about what we've been doing. So while I was out at Ken Jackson's last week, we picked up this beautiful Max D dump trailer. And let me tell you why I went with that dump trailer. We talked a little bit about it on the live that I did. And really what I wanted was a gooseneck, primarily because they pull a little bit better. They're a little easier to turn and stuff. But the most important thing to me was making sure that we had these fold down sides. Most of the dump trailers that you'll see have fenders. So instead of this fold down side, you'll have a fender here, so they're not quite as wide and they don't have deck over. Being able to do exactly what I did here was extremely important to me because I don't have a whole lot of tools in my toolbox yet, and I want every tool to do as much as it possibly can. So with this one, I can load equipment in here like our MT85, I can load lumber in here, and I can load dirt if I need to haul dirt away or gravel or anything like that. So this is my first experience with Max D, and let me tell you what, solid trailer. Upgraded 8,000 pound axles. This thing pulled like a dream, which is another reason I don't usually like bumper pulls, is because they're usually pretty rough pulling. Pulled this all the way from Jackson, Tennessee. When I was out at Canada's place, they delivered it to me there from Kansas and then pulled it all the rest of the way home, so 800 miles or something. Stopped off at Mr. Fence over in Panama City, picked up a bunch of lumber, and couldn't have asked for a better ride. I don't think it hurts that my truck has airbags, but was not bouncy at all, just pulled really, really well. This is basically what I wanted. And we have Big Tex trailers that are gooseneck almost identical to this with the 7,000 pound axles. And when I went to drop this side, I realized the difference between Max D and Big Tex, because our Big Tex is pretty light and the PJs are pretty light sides. This one, it's like, oh, you wanna make sure and have your Wheaties eaten when you go to lift these sides because they're heavy. They are very heavy duty. I was impressed. Right here, this is the DX9, in case you're wondering, that's the model. Bought it from Open Range in Kansas. They delivered it to Jackson Fence Company, and it's the Max D. But look at that tongue. Just even the tongue is incredibly heavy duty. I've got a nice heavy duty jack here instead of some little silly crank handle light duty jack. Got a spare to equal all the rest of the tires. So overall, really impressed with the trailer, and I think that we're probably getting ready to order about 8 more of these gooseneck flatbeds from this company to replace all of our Big Tex trailers in Wyoming, and then add a trailer to here. So happy with that. We have the new addition to the team, the Bobcat MT85, which has now been replaced with the MT100. However, trying to find new or used equipment is challenging, to say the least, and we'll get into that a little bit more with the next new member of the team. Bought this from Ken Throckmorton, who upgraded his MT85 to a brand new MT100. This is going to be the machine. We have an auger ordered for it, we have pallet forks ordered for it, and we have a trencher ordered for it. So when we do gate operators, we can do our trenching. Ken said that if I bought the tracks and shipped them to him, he would put them on and then give me the old tracks, and he did exactly what he said he would do. So we have a brand new set of tracks on this. If you have a suggested name for this machine, every machine needs a name, drop a comment down below and tell us what you think we should call this thing. Every good piece of good equipment needs a name. Maybe we should call this thing Dumpy. McDumperson, I don't know. What are we gonna call it, Connor? We're gonna call it Dumpy, huh? We're gonna call it Big Dumpy. Dumpy G. The peanut gallery has said Dumpy G. Oh, and we have Postmasters. We actually bought these before they went through the roof and then turned into be like $60 a piece. So I'm sitting on a little bit of gold here, that most of which is already sold in jobs that we have coming up. So to get our customers switched over to Postmasters and driving them, we are actually offering a free metal post upgrade. So just something to set us apart from everybody else, and we'll see if we impact the market. If everybody starts using them around here, we'll know that we've had some sort of a positive impact. As mentioned before, we have a nice load of lumber, treated pickets, and just delivered today, right before this video. Look at that. Not to flex or anything, but that's a forklift. We don't have to hand unload concrete pallets anymore. Our brand new Doosan. And since we're Bobcat people, this is again thanks to Cannon Jackson. I went to Cannon's shop and told him I was looking for forklifts, and they're outrageously priced to Komatsu, roughly the equivalent of this. They wanted like $14,000 for something with 18,000 hours on it. It was only 4 years old, but 18,000 hours. This forklift has 0 hours, brand new, $30,000. I could have cut those hours in half, but I would have spent $18,000. Really lucked into this. This is the only one they had, the only 5,000 pound lift that Lift Power over in Jacksonville had. They hooked me up with it and stroked a check, and all of a sudden we're in business. So there's that. So in case we weren't broke before, we're really broke now. Not to mention Facebook's down. Like, Facebook's really down. Oh, they're up today. It's a good day for Facebook. $4.67 up from, like, it was down like $8 this morning. It's like a $13 swing in one day. It's looking good. It's looking real good. I like this. Okay, anyhow. We did get a pallet of concrete. That stuff's heavy and it's gray and it's dusty and I hate it, and I hope that I can drive most of my posts because that stuff's the devil. What else have we been up to? Oh, I keep talking about Jackson Fence. We did go out there and we trained Cannon Johnson and his couple of his team members on how to install gate operators just to get them up to speed. We weren't able to cover everything that you learn in the American Fence Association courses. So if you're at all interested in doing that, that's something I can help you with. But I still highly suggest getting into one of the courses and receiving your certification through the American Fence Association to both design and install gate operators. But at least that'll get him from knowing nothing to get him up here to where at least we feel like he has a basis for doing a good installation, even if he needs to continue on his education there. So really proud of Cannon Johnson and his team there at Jackson Fence Company for taking on the challenge and branching out into something new. That's how he'll continue to grow his company and offer better services and superior installations to his customers. So yes, what do you have to say? Oh, that's very handy. What was that? That's for your riders. So this is probably for when your riders are back here and they can be like, oh, you're about to run me over, I fell off. No? Now that we have a forklift, we need a forklift name. So if you got a good forklift name, let us know. Comments down below. What should we call it? The Muscle. It's kind of like in Jersey Shore. Maybe we should call it the Muscle. Let's name it Jack. Johnny, he says. On the spot. I don't know what we're gonna call it. Anyhow, come on, come with me. There's more, but wait, there's more. You're thinking, how can this guy pack more into an episode? This is what it's all about. This is how we start it. This is one of my favorite things. This is going to be the sales car. And let me tell you, some things to think about if you're gonna do something like this. Yes, they're expensive. Yes, you have to wait a while. We bought this with our family in mind, so we got the 7-seat option. And some of the benefits of doing this are the fact that I don't have to worry about oil changes. I don't have to worry about brakes as often because it has dynamic braking. I don't have to worry about stopping at the gas station all the time to get fuel, which is expensive, as we all know. So there's none of that. The time spent just fueling and doing all the maintenance on vehicles is something to consider. So if you're able to pick one of these up used for your sales vehicle, I would highly recommend it. They're incredibly fast, they're incredibly safe, the technology is amazing, and every morning when I get up and I want to go on sales calls, it's full of fuel. And did I mention that if I want to fuel it from 0 to 100%, we're talking like $7. So super cheap. Time's money. Really happy with this. Don't know what we're gonna call it. Again, if you have any ideas, let us know. We're gonna wrap that. I think it gets wrapped on the 6th of January. We scheduled that today. The truck is gonna get wrapped so it will not look like Wyoming, wherever it went. It's down there somewhere. Maybe somebody stole it. Oh, right there. So we're gonna wrap the truck. Both of them will look very similar so that we have a cohesive message to our customers and they know what our brand looks like. Which, coincidentally, our forklift is orange. Hello. So that's pretty much where we are as far as the company. We've got the delivery of the forklift, we've got the trailer, we're working on some other equipment. We do have a vinyl router ordered from CMM. It's a dual bay single head reconditioned router, so we'll be able to route vinyl here. And working on maybe getting a trailer and possibly a skid steer, have a fence hog and a mobile mud hog ordered. Basically just spent a ton of money. Like if we hadn't spent a bunch of money before, we put that on steroids, but it's all about having the right equipment. We have a pipe notcher coming for building gates, because one of the problems that we'll have is getting gates in time if we need to do a job in short order. We've got a lot of equipment coming, and I've spent a lot of money, but luckily now the jobs have started to really roll in. We sold, I think, maybe 3 or 4 jobs last week, just between Larry and myself doing estimates. So it's really a numbers game. Again, not trying to be the cheapest, and I know we're not the cheapest, but we're trying to do enough estimates that the right people that really value our services and our low lead times find value in what we're able to do without having to compete on price necessarily. Probably next week what we'll do is we'll take you inside and we'll show you the QuickBooks and show you a little bit about where we're at financially. But that's really where we're at now. So I'm hoping that next week we end up doing a couple installs, as well as continuing to look at jobs. We've got a pretty good lead on maybe doing some interior warehouse fence. The week after Christmas, we've got a 300-foot install scheduled for South Florida, and there's 2 more of those projects coming up that we're getting awarded. So, and those are big commercial projects, so that's really nice. Definitely rather be in the commercial sphere than residential, but residential's our entry point. So we take what we can get at this point in time, and we don't complain, and we do whatever comes our way until we can really build a business. So with that said, that's all I have to say about that, and until next time, you have a good dang day.